Hello friends, Mandar here. I'm back with another video. Today we'll talk about several topics that have come directly from your questions in the comment section. We'll talk about the AC21 job portability situation, some questions related to that. We'll talk about some questions in the EB1A category, EB1C category, and we'll also talk about some of the options that F1 students have while they are on OPT to continue their visa. So a lot of interesting topic, guys. Watch this video until the end and let's get started. If you are here for the first time, welcome. My name is Mandar and I make immigration and lifestyle related videos for US and Canada. I'm not an immigration lawyer, so anything that I say on this video or on my channel is for information purpose only. And for your specific immigration needs, before you take any action, you should hire a competent immigration lawyer. Do like the video and leave some comments because that's where I get my ideas for my next video. Also check the affiliate links in my description because you might find something interesting over there. And that will also help the channel. Now before going into our first topic, I just wanted to kind of refer to this news that had come out few days back. This was about the two Indian students who had recently moved to the United States in Connecticut to do their higher studies, and they were found dead in their apartments due to the carbon monoxide poisoning. Now this is very heartbreaking and I will show you what the news says. Two Indian students were found dead in the US home. Cause of death is unknown. Now these two individuals came from Telangana and Andhra Pradesh and they had recently moved. They were just 21 and 22 years old. Both students were reportedly pursuing masters in computer science from Sacred Heart University in Hartford, Connecticut. Now the news agencies have said that the cause of death is unknown, but it was due to the carbon monoxide poisoning. Carbon monoxide is odorless and colorless and you never notice that you are inhaling that. You would never know that you are short of oxygen. That is a really sad tragedy to have happened to them or for that matter anybody else. Now this is a good reminder for people who are coming from India or from anywhere in the world to the United States. When there is low temperatures, the heaters kick in, and as part of that heating process, heaters also emit out carbon monoxide. And if you don't have good circulation in the house, it can stay in the house, it can stay or spread in the rooms. You should definitely have the carbon monoxide in your house. The newer houses come installed with it. You need to check the batteries regularly and make sure it's working. So that was something that I wanted to remind because a lot of people come from India as students, which are sometimes in the northern part of the United States where it gets cold, and they should be aware of this situation. Now another interesting fact about this particular news is that all of this news came from the Indian news outlets. As you can see here, this is from the Hindu saying the two Indian students found dead under suspicious circumstances in the US. Then this one is from scroll.in. The other one is from the Economic Times, Hindustan Times, First Post, and so on. When I did a general search in Google, I found all of these Indian news outlets giving out this news. So I was curious to see if there was any news in the US outlets. So when I did a quick search in the local news agencies for Connecticut, I could not find anything, which was really surprising. I even posted on Twitter about my thoughts that this is a sad news and it's a good lesson for everybody, but surprised how only Indian news has covered this. I scoured through the Connecticut news channels and no coverage anywhere. I was really surprised that the US outlets don't think that this was newsworthy over the other trivial things that they publish. Something to ponder. Now let's go to the question and answers in regards to different sections that I talked about earlier in the video. So this one is the first question. I have approved I-140 and 485 pending for more than 180 days. I also received my EAD and AP card. However, AP has now expired as USCIS approved it for only 1 year. The advance payroll is currently under renewal with the processing time from the USCIS is up to 17 months. Can I change the job without restarting the green card process? Will the new employer file H1B transfer? Now, first thing is EAD and AP has nothing to do with your job transfer while on 485. It has everything to do with how long have you waited on your pending I-485. Even if you did not apply for EAD and AP, if you are an H1B and you have a pending application I-485 for more than 6 months, you are eligible to change the job based on AC21 Job Portability rule, which says that if you change your job after 6 months of pending I-485 and if your new job is in the same job profile or category as the job that you are doing or that was mentioned on your I-140, then you can change your job without impacting your 485. So in this case, in this situation, he was asking whether his pending advanced payroll application has anything to do with the job change. My answer to that question is no. And even if you are not on H1B and if you are working on EAD, as long as you have a valid EAD card, you can still change the job on using your EAD card using AC21 rule, as long as the new job is in the same category as it was mentioned in your I-140 and you have waited for 6 months at least on your pending 485. So your 485 will continue in your new job. Just make sure that you file for I-485 Supplement J notifying USCIS of the new job change that is signed by your employer. So that was the first question. Now let's look at the second question. So this says, I have a question regarding adjustment of status application. I applied for AOS in October under EB1A category and super curious when I will be getting my green card in hand. Saying that I am now super curious, what does USCIS do after the application is received? All that I know is the biometrics is involved, but not sure anything otherwise. So I have made multiple videos on the entire process of 485 and I'll link it on this screen somewhere. But the process is simple. Once you only apply for your 485 when your date is current in the visa bulletin, either in the filing date chart or the final action date chart, whichever chart USCIS is using for that particular month. Okay, so what happens next? Once you apply for your 485, you will get a receipt notice in the mail within 2 to 3 weeks. After that, you will also get another notice in the mail to appear for biometric appointment. They will have the date and time specified on that biometrics appointment notice, which you should meet. You should go and give your biometrics. After you give your biometrics, then nothing happens for the next couple of months. Now, before they approve your green card process, they will also need your medicals, which is I-693. Now, I-693 you can apply at the time of application of 485, or you could wait. If there is a possibility of retrogression of your date, you might as well wait. But I highly recommend that you do your medicals I-693 at the same time as your 485 application. If you have done so, then after biometrics, you just have to wait until they process your application and you will get your green card in the mail. In certain situations, they will also call you for an interview, in-person interview, where you will take many of your original certificates with you to go for the interview. As soon as the interview is done, if the officer is convinced, they will approve your green card. So that is the process. So the processing time, as far as I know, EB1 category people whose dates remain current, they are getting their green cards within few months, like say 3 to 6 months. But EB2 and EB3, even while your date is current, I am seeing the processing time well beyond a year. So it is what it is. There are several different methods that you can use to ping USCIS or have them approve your case sooner while your date is current. Reach out to me if you want to talk to me about your situation. I did calls with several people in the last several days who followed the techniques and got their green card approved when their date was current, because you don't want to wait too long if there is a possibility of further retrogression. Now next question is, Mandar, when USA welcomes Dunki, which is illegal immigrants crossing the southern border at heavy cost and maintain them at school buildings and such, and thus is so liberal, why is it so harsh to accept documented EB applicants who are in turn already in the United States and definitely contribute much more to the US economy? Now this is a political question. I don't know why they would prioritize undocumented people coming from the southern border over documented people who are already in the United States, working on different jobs, paying the taxes to the government, and still not getting the green cards for several decades. It's all political. If you ask me, liberal leaning Democrats are more interested in the undocumented people than the Republicans. But I don't want to go too much into it. Leave the comments in the description what you think, why this is the case. Another question, this is non-immigration related. Maximum social security benefit is at the age of 70. It will not grow after that. age 67 milestone means that there is no penalty if you are still working and getting social security. Also, if the spouse is deceased, you can collect social security at the age of 60 on his or her benefit. So this was in relation to the social security related benefits video that I had made, which became quite popular, by the way. You might want to check that video out because that is relevant to all of us. The benefits do continue for the spouse even if the main applicant gets deceased. Now the next topic is for students. This question is, currently I am on F1 STEM OPT. Apart from H1B, what other options can I have to stay in the US? I would highly appreciate if I can get this information. Now a lot of students are contacting me on this particular question. They are on F1 visa, they have completed their studies, they are working on their OPT, and sometimes they get the job and sometimes they don't. And even if they get the job and their employer applies for their H1B in the lottery, they do not get picked up in the lottery in the right time. So what do they do in this situation? Now you have 3 years of OPT. Okay, so you can work for that employer for up to 3 years because STEM allows first year OPT and then 2 more years of extension. So total 3 years of OPT. Now in between 3 years of OPT, if you cannot get H1B, your other options could be asking them to apply for your green card immediately, because if you qualify for EB1A green card, your date might become current, and within the time that you reach your end of OPT, you might as well go into the 485 stage of the green card, which will allow you to continue to stay in the US because you will be on the pending adjustment of status. So that is one way. Now if you don't get your H1B and if you are coming out of OPT, you might want to consider cap exempt H1B. Join a company that allows cap exempt H1B, such as some non-profit organizations, educational institutions, hospitals, healthcare centers. Those places allow H1B cap exempt. So in that case, you may be able to get your H1B just by changing the job in that particular area. So that is another possibility. Third possibility is, of course, you can leave the country and come back after you get a H1B sponsored job. Fourth possibility is go on some other visa which will allow you to stay, such as O1 if you have exceptional capabilities, but if you have not yet qualified for EB1A, there is an option to go for O1 visa, which is also for exceptional ability. And worst case scenario, if you still don't have an H1B at the end of your OPT, you might as well want to go back to the school and do your further studies or second masters or something like that. Get another F1 and I-20 and continue your stay that way. Now this continuation of stay will allow you to apply for further H1B attempts and you can get lucky and get your H1B. So those are some of the other thoughts. If you have a certain situation that you want to talk to me, do reach out to me on my Calendly, and I will be happy to suggest you different ways if you are in that situation. Some students who are on OPT have also lost the job recently, which has put them into a difficult situation because now they don't have H1B, F1 or H1 either. Contact me if you are in that situation. The last thing you want to do is accumulate unauthorized stay. You don't want to do that. So you want to follow a good lawyer's advice. If you are comfortable talking to me, I might have some suggestions for you as well. And then the last topic for the day is, people are still asking me about upgrades and downgrades between EB2 and EB3. Now EB2 and EB3 are almost going hand in hand for India and China. EB3 might be slightly ahead, but in my opinion, there is no case for you to downgrade or upgrade between EB2 and EB3 at this point of time. Stay in your lane, stay course. The only possibility to change the category is if you qualify for EB1A or EB1C or any of those EB1 categories. Only then consider that. Otherwise, stay in your lane. Don't jump from EB2 to EB3 or EB3 to EB2 at this point of time. There is no practical advantage of doing so. So I know for sure that some of you are interested in stock trading, day trading, buying cryptocurrencies. I want to present you Webull. Webull is a trading platform. It allows you to buy stock, it allows you to buy options, do options trading, and also it allows you to buy cryptocurrency. Webull 9 was released with a brand new home and market page, asset page, and economic calendar. Feel free to take advantage of this. Join through my link and you will get those free stocks. So that's all really I wanted to say in this video. If you like the content of this video, do hit the like button and consider subscribing to my channel, and I'll see you in the next one.